Okay, so this is something that not too many people are talking about, but there are a few people who would probably like to see this happen. Um, the Resident Evil 5 game originally came out back in 2009, and honestly, it's a game that did pretty well in terms of sales. I mean, that's an understatement to say the least. I mean, in terms of commercial sales, I think it like sold over 13 mil or something like that, and there was a lot of people who liked it because they liked the overall presentation, the graphics, the fact that Albert Wesker made a return, the fact that Chris Redfield, along with Joe Valentine, returned in this game as well. The thing about this game that was kind of like the focal point in terms of controversy was the fact that the setting of the game took place in West Africa in a fictional like city or village, and pretty much there was a lot of like racial overtones in this game, and it's something that I believe drew the ire of like a handful of people back in the day, and like the whole idea was that it was promoting white supremacy and that you had a small African village that had this disease where I guess they became like mutants or zombies and all that. And then I believe like when the reveal trailer for the game came out, it was like the there was like a black character getting killed off by a white person or whatever. And I think that was kind of like the main thing that that caused this game to be looked at in a controversial light. And for the most part, um, Resident Evil 5, I think, has always been a game that I guess Capcom has been somewhat hesitant to remake. I mean, they've remastered a game back in 2016, and people had nothing but good things to say about it. And ironically, that was the same year Trump became president. But it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Resident Evil 5 is quite as popular or had that much of a cult following as some of the older installments. It's not as popular as Resident Evil 4. And it seems like right now Capcom is mainly focusing on the upcoming release of Resident Evil 9, which is speculated to take place sometime in 2025. I don't know whether or not Capcom has officially started working on Resident Evil 9 or not, but at this point, even though like the Resident Evil series still sells millions and people still buy the stuff, and it's one of the best things that Capcom has going, a lot of people feel like the series has reached its peak back in like the 2000s or like during that time period because um like the Resident Evil games, like 2, 3, and 4, they're all classics, and those are the games that stand out more to hardcore fans of the series than anybody else. But at the same time, like you look at Resident Evil 5, it's not quite as cool as the first four main entries, but it's way better than Resident Evil 6 from 2012, which people like really just like just attacked and just criticized the hell out of it. And I think for the most part, Resident Evil 5 is more worthy of a remake than Resident Evil 6. And I don't even know if Capcom is going to get to Resident Evil 6 in terms of an actual remake. Um, because obviously, there are, way better installments within the series. And I don't know, like the classics are the ones that people just want to go back and enjoy. And if they do get something new, like with Resident Evil 9, I mean, there's a lot of speculation that they're going to bring back older characters and probably try to introduce a new character to I guess get people acquainted with the new character and at the same time draw eyes to like casuals and hardcore gamers or hardcore fans of the Resident Evil series with the older characters. And like for the most part, I do feel that Resident Evil 9 has the potential to be better than the last couple of entries that we got. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard was a lot better than many people had expected because it came after 6, so it just looked better in comparison. But Resident Evil 5, um, it's a game that some people would obviously feel is remake worthy, but then there's also a group of people who would probably get offended by it. But it is what it is. I don't expect Capcom to really change anything if they were to remake Resident Evil 5. But I honestly feel like Capcom has their sights set on Resident Evil 9 right now more than anything.